What did your grandparents say that still affects you today? My grandmother raised me after my parents died in a car accident when I was 7. She was 68, retired, and had no obligation to take in a grieving kid, but she never made me feel like a burden. Grandma Rose was barely 5 feet tall, but she had the presence of someone twice her size. She'd worked as a nurse for 40 years and had this way of looking at people that made them immediately straighten up and tell the truth. The problem started in 4th grade. Some kids at school found out I lived with my grandmother instead of real parents and decided that made me different. They'd make jokes about me being dumped on grandma or ask if I was going to end up in foster care when she got too old to take care of me. I tried to ignore it, but the comments got meaner. One kid, Tyler, started telling everyone that my parents probably died because they were trying to get away from me. That's why nobody wants you except some old lady who doesn't know better. I came home crying one day, begging Grandma Rose to let me transfer schools. She sat me down at her kitchen table, the same one where she helped me with homework every night. "Baby," she said, her voice gentle but firm, "there are 2 types of people in this world, those who lift others up and those who tear others down to make themselves feel bigger. Which one do you want to be?" I sniffled. "The first one, but Tyler won't stop being mean." Grandma Rose nodded slowly. "Sometimes people who hurt others are hurting inside themselves, but that doesn't mean you have to accept their behavior. Let me tell you something I learned in 40 years of nursing. You teach people how to treat you." The next day, Tyler cornered me again during lunch. "Hey, orphan boy, did your old grandma forget to pack your lunch again?" Instead of crying or running away like usual, I stood up straight. I remembered how Grandma Rose looked when she was being serious. "My grandmother's name is Rose, and she's the strongest person I know," I said loudly enough for other kids to hear. "She raised 3 kids, worked 40 years saving people's lives, and chose to love me when she didn't have to. That makes me pretty lucky." Tyler looked surprised that I'd fought back. "Whatever, she's still just an old—" "Tyler," I interrupted, using the same firm voice Grandma Rose used when patients were being difficult. "Picking on someone because they live with their grandmother says more about you than it does about me. Maybe you should think about why you need to be cruel to feel good about yourself." Several kids nearby were watching now. Tyler's face turned red, but he didn't have a comeback. He just walked away, muttering. That evening, I told Grandma Rose what happened. She smiled and hugged me tight. "You see? When you stand up for yourself with dignity, bullies don't know what to do. They're expecting you to cry or fight, not to speak truth with confidence." But Tyler wasn't done. The next week, he brought his mom to school pickup and pointed me out. "That's the kid I told you about who lives with his grandmother because nobody else wants him." I watched from the playground as Tyler's mom approached Grandma Rose by our car. I ran over, worried about what might happen. "Are you the grandmother?" Tyler's mom asked in a condescending tone. "I think we need to discuss your grandson's behavior. Tyler says he's been acting superior and disrespectful." Grandma Rose straightened to her full 5 feet and looked Tyler's mom directly in the eyes. "Ma'am, your son has been bullying my grandson for weeks, making cruel comments about his parents' death and our family situation. If Tyler is calling self-respect acting superior, then perhaps you should examine what values you're teaching at home." Tyler's mom looked shocked. "Well, I raised 3 successful children and helped bring hundreds of babies into this world safely," Grandma Rose continued calmly. "I've earned the right to raise this boy with love and dignity, and I've taught him that you treat everyone with respect, but you never let anyone treat you as less than you are." She paused, then added with surgical precision, "Perhaps Tyler could benefit from learning that lesson too." Tyler's mom mumbled an apology and hurried away with Tyler trailing behind, his face red with embarrassment. As we drove home, Grandma Rose said something I'll never forget. "Remember this moment, baby. When you know who you are and you're proud of where you come from, nobody can make you feel small. And when someone tries, you look them in the eye and remind them that dignity isn't about having the most money or the perfect family. It's about how you treat people and how you let people treat you." 20 years later, I'm a teacher myself, and I use those same words with students who are being bullied.